What's your favorite part of your business? Just the creativity, like the actual making of the ads?
I like just like building. Yeah, I like going it from ideation to like what we're going to do to like seeing like the product of it and then seeing the results of it. What's up, everyone? Today we are joined by our new friend Raheem. We're going to be talking a little bit about his backgrounds, how he started his business, and just talking about marketing in general as well. So Raheem, if you want to give a little bit of like an intro about yourself and the big move that you're going through right now, I think that would be your start. Yeah, absolutely. So well, I had no idea I was going to end up building my own marketing agency. I actually started wanting to be an elementary school teacher, but went to a first grade classroom and hated it. So it was like 30 kids screaming at me. So
My mom's elementary, or she's been an elementary school teacher her whole life. So
that was awesome.
It takes a certain kind of level of patience to deal with that.
Oh, it takes definitely a certain like high level of patience. And then but like I did that. And then from there I tried a bunch of different things, tried like physical therapy, hated the doctor setting, did not like it. And then did like marketing internship. I was a psychology major. I just started doing marketing. I was like, this is awesome. This is super cool. I was working for like this rollerblade marathon in northern Minnesota. It was kind of sick. Yeah, being like their marketing manager. And then I kind of loved it. I did their social media, helped them book out their entire venue. And it was insane. Yeah, it was insane. I got paid nothing for it. They got a lot of money.
Where'd you go to school?
It was in Duluth. Duluth, Minnesota.
My cousin went there actually.
Oh, no way. Yeah. UMD. Yeah. That's where I went. Yeah. It's cold up there. It's
super cold.
Yeah. I went to like -60 wind chill one time and it was terrible.
Wild.
Yeah.
It seems like you've tried a ton of different things before sort of like landing into marketing. So
absolutely.
I mean, I guess when you were starting to not build out a business, but just like think about going into marketing, what made you gravitate towards that? Was it like the free time that you knew you'd have, or like the setting of working with clients? Like what were you looking for, I guess?
I just loved like the creativity of it. Number one, like you could do so much with it and there's kind of like no limit to it, where like everything else and like all the other fields, it was kind of like a rigid sort of approach that you have to go ahead and follow to get to a certain point. And there's also like a payment cap too, right?
Yeah.
Like especially if you get like a salary position as like a teacher, especially, or as like a physical therapist, like unfortunately there is like a payment cap. You can go and you might get like 10% every other year increase, right?
Yeah.
Where marketing, there's like no cap to it. You know, like I was even seeing people like people online, social media, influencers and stuff, and like I was like, okay, like this field is exciting. And like all the top businesses like are like, the reason why they're doing really well is because most of the time it's because they have good marketing. Like the Super Bowl is so successful because of good ads, and like like NBA exists, all these leagues exist because of good marketing, you know? So yeah.
I feel like that relates to me and Henry. Since we work in sales, it's the same way. It's like there's no cap to like how much you can make in a lot of ways.
Exactly.
I mean, yes, maybe you're capped by like your salary, but when it comes to like earning commissions off of closing deals or booking clients, whatever it may be, then the ceiling is like as high as you really want it to be, which is a cool thing.
I was having like a discussion with one of my friends from Arizona about like what's the most critical piece for a business to do well. And I was saying like, oh, it's the product. And he was arguing it was like the marketing is more important. So I'm curious, what do you think is like the most crucial thing for you? Have a marketing business, but like functionally, like what is the most important for you guys?
Yeah, I think the number one thing is still the product, just due to like, if you don't have something that could genuinely help other people, then marketing won't be a good use for you. But if you have a good product and you don't know how to target the right audience, then that product won't go anywhere. Yeah, if you don't know how to talk to it. So like if you, like for example, like Scrub Daddy over there, like the reason why they did so well is because they knew their exact market, the homeowners, and the exact problems that they could solve with their product. But if they didn't market in the right way, they just marketed themselves as another sponge.
I recently saw a video of the founder of Scrub Daddy, and he's talking about that exact sort of thing, where it's like, I had this product just sitting in a box for years and years, and like I forgot about it. But then I like realized, okay, if I like approach it in a way where homeowners are going to be excited to buy it and use it and like have an easy way of using it and put a smiley face on it, then it like attracts a completely new market. So it's like, I feel like it goes both ways, but I agree with what you're saying. Like the product itself has to be worthwhile for people to
absolutely
pay attention to.
Absolutely. And it's such a simple design too. Like it's such a simple little fix, but the way he presented it and the solutions he had for that smiley face, like that's all marketing.
We had one up.
We have a scrub dad at our house right now. It's a really good
It's
product.
good. It's solid. I'm a scrub mommy. Yeah.
And they had that. That's crazy.
Well, tell us about coming out from Minnesota to California now and how that's been for you, man.
Yeah. No, it was quite the transition. Yeah. Quite the transition. Yeah. Like, leaving a relationship of 5 years, coming out here, starting basically like, a new venture out here. Well, I'm just building off of what I already have started here, which is nice. But like all a bunch of newness. Like it's been hard, difficult, but also really fun too, and just like a lot of different things going on. So still working through it. It's just only been 3 weeks, but like when I moved out here, I had 3 clients. Now I have 5 clients, and that's like in San Diego. So that's just steadily growing too.
That's awesome. Yeah. When I spoke with you in the coffee shop when we first met, you were still living in Minnesota. Is that correct?
That's true. Yeah.
Wow.
That's true.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did you start your business in Minnesota with Minnesota clients?
Yep. Exactly.
And
Yeah.
what's your business named? Like,
It's called Siargao Flow. It's kind of what it's called. Yeah. And the reason why is because I actually started the business on an island in the Philippines. It's called Siargao.
No.
And it was so sick. Yeah. It was like a little surfing island. It's like, an awesome island. It has like the most palm trees per square foot or square mileage. Yeah. Something like that. But yeah, I was there for like 2 weeks using like their Skylink internet or Starlink internet, and then built this business while there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and then started my first Twin Cities ad, and then hit up Minnesota really hard, and then from there, a year into doing the Twin Cities, I got over 20 clients there and 20 successes, which was awesome.
hell yeah.
Yeah, doing like Instagram and Facebook, and then I was like, I want to go to San Diego and do this, and I had a client already in San Diego, so I flew down here, created an ad, 2 ads down over here, and then they both did well. Got a lot of clients here too. So
What ads did you do down here?
Yeah.
You came in.
yeah, absolutely. So the ads I do, they're very targeted locally. So they're really positioned as like, I'm here to help companies that are here, and I'm here to basically give you the same system that I'm showing you right now. So basically everything that I'm doing for my marketing is what I apply and help for other businesses for Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, and I just teach them the way of doing it, and then that's how it works.
So you're like, are you consulting for them and putting out the ads for them?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Consulting and putting up the ads for them. I do like a full process of like doing all the market research, scripting. I have a team that does the editing overseas, and then I help them set up the ads, the content, and like structure them in a way to get clients.
Is it primarily Instagram and Meta ads?
It's probably Instagram and Facebook. The reason why Instagram is the best one for sure, but the age gap goes from like early 20s to like 55, and then past 55, that's usually the Facebook crowd. Yeah.
Makes sense.
So it's the best method on Instagram for sure. But if you need to attract that older crowd, which some people do, then you got to do Facebook.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's when I was in school for marketing. You had in school for management information systems.
yeah, cool.
Which still probably touched on some marketing classes.
For sure.
And vice versa for me. But that was a huge thing, is like what platform exists these days that targets like what demographic of people. So what he said is exactly right. Like Instagram is for people in their 20s to 50s, and then vice versa.
Picking the right product or the right demographic.
Yeah.
Platform for the demographic.
100%. And there's a lot of crossover too. So like if businesses are able to do both and they have that crossover in ages, then it works out super well.
Yeah.
So when you started your business, because like the other friends we have that have a business, we were talking to them for a bit. They're like very obsessed with building like systems within their business. So I'm curious, do you have like systems built out.
Oh yeah,
like standard operating procedures or that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I didn't always. I kind of was a little bit chaotic with it. So I have ADHD and all that type of stuff. So what I like to do, I like to just like try out a bunch of different things as much as possible, and then like whatever works best, especially like on the ad side, like the content side for like myself or for other clients. Then I take like that best one and then I save it and then create like a standard operating procedure off of that. Yeah, and then I like to always test different things too at the same time. So whatever is working best currently in these past few months, we stick to that as the plan. But then we also bring up new creatives and new type of procedures for marketing, both with strategy and also with the creative in and of itself. And then whatever's winning, then I take that and apply it to the winning strategy.
So it's like, have you heard of a flywheel?
Yeah,
It's kind of like that. Seems like
exactly. It's exactly like that.
Whatever works, you keep it in, trying things, keep trying to iterate through the process.
I was gonna say, I think it would be interesting for you to hear about like the conversation you had with that football client, or he was like coaching someone in the NFL or something like that. That was a fascinating conversation that you explained to me. That was a while ago at the coffee shop. Do you remember? Like you were consulting a client about like
the breathwork client the breathwork client he's off in I like him a lot. His name is Isaiah. He's off in Chicago. We're going to be working together in the future. What he does is he does holistic therapy and breathwork for a lot of like executives like in Chicago, but not only that, like a lot of pro athletes, which is super cool. So he does a lot of breath work and holistic work with a lot of different professional athletes and executives. One of them was the quarterback of the Vikings, JJ. What's his last name? McCarthy. JJ McCarthy. Yeah, he's good friends with him. He helped him all the way from like high school all the way from there to the NFL. And he was his main mental mindset and breathwork coach. So you know JJ McCarthy, when he's like on the sidelines, like doing breathwork and stuff.
I haven't seen him do that, no. But
but if you saw him like pre-game, that was because of this coach. I was like, that's actually so insane.
And that's what I think is so cool about owning your own business or marketing agency or sales coaching thing, whatever it may be. You really get to like vet out and choose who you want to work with, and they end up being such cool people, which is awesome.
Absolutely.
most of the time,
most of the time.
Most of the time, yeah.
Henry and I are really big on like traveling, and I was talking to you about that earlier, but
Absolutely.
I feel like it's so cool being able to travel whenever you want to and have stuff operate without your sort of like physical input. So
100%.
I guess my question is like, how did you get to a point where you were able to build out a team to operate stuff with you if you're going on a ski trip somewhere, like on a tropical vacation? Whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah. The nice thing about my business is the big levers of what we do is mostly online. The only thing that needs to be in person is videography. So videography was my basically like biggest thing to scale up to try to delegate. So I could, the biggest bottleneck to try to delegate, because like once I can solve that bottleneck, then I can be wherever doing this business, which is awesome. So from that, thankfully, I had like I played ultimate frisbee, so I had like a friend in Minnesota that was on the ultimate frisbee team, and he's a really good videographer. He was like on the set of Yellowstone and like all these like crazy films and stuff. So I was like, oh sweet. So then I hired him, and he's like my main go-to guy in Minnesota. So whenever I have filmings in Minnesota now, since I moved to San Diego, he's taking care of all of that.
That's all,
which is sweet. And then I used to be an editor when I started up and I first started traveling. But I was working with a lot of international companies, so they had their own setups and video setups and everything. But then I delegated that piece too. So now I have like a lot of editors overseas that do that piece. And then the sales aspect is another piece that I'm trying to delegate, so I can just really focus on the operations and the creative. And then be able to focus on what I'm good at, and then try to refine that even more.
Totally.
So
do you have so are you the videographer for San Diego
currently? Yes. I'm looking for more though.
Right.
So that's
I was still looking. I'm gonna try and give him some recommendations of people that I know that he could hire on.
That'd be awesome.
I didn't know certain people.
That'd be awesome. If you guys connected, I'll give them a cool opportunity. So
I'd feel like just identifying the sort of bottlenecks that are taking up the most time and trying to delegate that, but still also have like control and input over it. So
Absolutely.
it turns out the way that you want. That's like the biggest, most important thing to free up time.
Yeah.
Always.
100%. Yeah. That's the biggest thing to free up time. And I think like a lot of people miss this. Like they start to free up what they're good at to other people, and I think that tends to be kind of an issue. Yeah. Where I like to kind of stay in what I'm good at. I really like the scripting, I really like the strategy, I really like the input of it, but I just want to eventually just try to only be doing that. Yeah, that's kind of the goal.
Ismail, who we've had on the show earlier, who runs the sort of real estate video agency, he's talked about like, I used to be such a control freak over everything, and I wanted to have control over everything, but then I just realized I have to focus on like what I'm good at, making sure to kind of double down on that, and then be okay with delegating other tasks to other people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we interviewed a founder of a tech company, Sean, and he's in New York City. He's like telling us about his business. Like he started as like doing everything, but now he honestly doesn't even really touch like the day to day, and he's kind of just steering the ship. You know what I mean? And he's doing like the higher level like marketing stuff or meeting with people. Kind of, he's built like a team that he like can trust all the little things, and he kind of just he's like on the top, just overseeing how the direction of the company.
Absolutely.
I have a question about like when you're managing a team that might be overseas or you can't meet in person, like do you think it's valuable to have like weekly meetings or just meetings to like align with the team, or are you pretty good about maintaining those relationships without having to have like a consistent meeting time?
So I don't like meetings that much. I'm pretty anti-meeting. I'm also kind of lazy too. Like I don't want to do like I only want to do like what I'm really good at and really passionate about. And then like the editing and like the videography and the sales, I like to delegate that piece out too. But back to what I was saying, for the meetings, no, I don't like to do meetings at all, especially with my editors, because my editors, I give them a style. I tell them what I want in the direction I want for it to go, and then I have software that can like adjust it like on the spot if need be, which is really nice. And same with the videographer. Once I train them up and they're set to go, then they're free to go. With the salespeople though, since they're more hands-on, and that's always kind of like dynamic, and there's always a bunch of different industries we're talking with, those we do tend to have like weekly meetings with. For sure, because there's so much more of an involved role.
It's like a direct like revenue generating a client facing. That's like
exactly,
they're representing you as a business.
Right, exactly. Where everything else is like if they just do the task well and how I ask them to do it, then everything should be good. Which is nice.
So you have one person doing sales for you right now? Do you have anyone in Minnesota who does it, or is it just here?
Just here. And then if there's someone in Minnesota, we just do a Zoom call. And then
so you're trying to really grow your San Diego business right now.
100%.
What brought you out to San Diego? Like, why'd you want to come here?
I always love San Diego. I think San Diego's awesome. It's a great place.
But it's not the third question.
How'd you get the idea? You just got a client here? Is that what started it?
I always wanted to have a client here. That's kind of the thing. I always wanted to kind of have a client here. But like, it kind of came out of luck. So my first ever client doing the agency was a person in Temecula. He owned like a med tech podcast that I was like editing and posting for. And that was like 4 years ago when I first started. And then after a year of working together, I was doing good work with him. He led me to a bigger guy. His name is Oren Klaff. He was like a really big author in Carlsbad, and also is building a public company currently for like 3D printed granite countertops, which is super cool. It was super cool. So I helped him with his social media to attract more investors for his company and to build up his own personal brand, and that worked really well. And then that was my first client in San Diego, and then from there, alongside doing that, then I started my local business in the Twin Cities in Minnesota, and then that grew quite a bit. So I was like, okay, I want to try to do it in San Diego, and then now this is growing too, which is great. So
I'm a huge proponent of San Diego being the best city in the United States.
I agree.
How to be able to a decent amount of cities around the U.S., I think San Diego is the best.
I think so too. It's the most livable for sure. You can just do so much and just love it.
There's great all the time.
So
you're doing like any type of social media marketing. People meet
No, so I do have a package. I think keeping it simple is really, really good. And like having exactly who you're trying to target is really good. So my goal is targeting currently local businesses that need help getting more clients. Yeah. And a lot of local, and there's a big need for that right now, like a massive need for that. So yeah, I track them through Instagram, I track them through Facebook to come into me. And then once they come into me, my sell is basically, well, it worked for you. So it will work for the clients you go ahead and attract too. So then yeah, then I sell them on that and then get them launched and ready to go. And yeah, that's my main
like packages. Like, so you have a certain amount of services for in that package.
This is fascinating too, because for the real estate media agency that my friend does, I know I keep bringing up the same, but there's a lot of similarities drawn here. So they have a lot of packages that they've spent hours and days just honing in on the pricing of things and making sure that they can almost like direct people and upsell them and not just try and make sure that people are getting like the right package, but also that they're making like the highest ticket offer possible. So absolutely. Did you take a lot of time to like create specific packages that would make the most sense for clients? Change that pricing structure?
100%. And I shortcutted that process a little bit too, because I invested in a mentorship last year too, from a guy that was a big marketing guy. His name was Boris, and he helped me out for like packaging, pricing, and like how to market myself and do all that. So he shortcutted the process a lot for me, which is super nice. But my goal actually is not only for the initial package to be worth it. I kind of like to undervalue actually my first 2 months. And the reason why is because my goal is to give them such a large return in the first 2 months where they would think it makes no sense not to work with them long term. Yeah. So that's the goal, is to really like
attention.
Attention. So it's kind of like a win-win where like they're investing in me for sure, but not as much as they would for like other companies and like the price point of them, but then I'll over deliver, and then they would want to work with me long term.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
makes total sense.
So like how just curious, because we have a podcast, like how much do you charge? Were you charging that client to like post his podcast
100%
and like manage his social media?
For the first podcaster, I started part-time. I kind of like started part-time and then squeezed my way into like a more full-time role. I started while traveling. I was doing like 600 a month while doing like a bunch of different other jobs at the side. And then I grew that to 2,500 a month with that guy. And then that became like my main go-to source while traveling, like Bali and Guatemala and stuff, which is sweet. And then for my other client, my bigger podcast guy, that went up to 4K. So did that, and then I did both alongside, and then I started growing other stuff as well too.
Something that I'm curious about as well is we've both been to Indonesia.
Oh yeah,
him not as recently as I've been, but I absolutely love Bali. I think like a whole digital nomad vibe over there is very, very cool.
It's amazing.
And I'm just curious, like, did you want to stay in Bali for like a long amount of time?
Oh yeah,
doing that
100%.
I feel like at some point you maybe run out of money and then need to come back. But if you have like consistent money coming in, that's I love Uluwatu.
Oh, Uluwatu is so cool.
Whole place.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just curious, like, how did you want to stay out there for even longer? Like, what made you come back?
Yeah.
Curious about that.
Mainly time zone. That's the issue. Yeah. Like, I think that's the hardest part is like when you're in Bali, you have like only 4 hours realistically where you could do work, and they end up being like 6 a.m. to like 8 a.m. or like 8 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And it kind of sucks. Yeah. But if I could go out there and like live out there while running this business, that'd be insane. And that's kind of a goal too, is just to be able to go to like Asian countries and stuff, for like Australia, Bali.
Have you been to any other countries like besides Bali?
Oh, even to
You just said Finland.
Yeah, Finland. We were just in Finland, Norway. Last year we went to South Africa, and then that led to Jordan and Egypt, which was awesome. And did that like while traveling and working too. We did Portugal, the whole coast. And then we rented a van and did like the whole coastline of it, which is super cool. And then we went to the islands, Madeira and Azores. Yeah, Madeira and Azores.
That one.
It was awesome.
The Azores Islands?
Yeah, the Azores Islands.
Heard of those?
They're low key. If you want to go to like some low key islands, the Azores Islands are insane.
They're super sick. Have you been to South America?
Yes, I've been to Peru.
Oh, that's sick.
Peru is probably the most beautiful place like I've ever been to in my life. Yeah.
My friends just went to Machu Picchu.
Oh, Machu Picchu. Yeah, Cusco, Machu Picchu.
They did a crazy hype where they went like through a giant valley, like a mountain range, and like entered Machu Picchu from like a.
Was this Salcante trek?
I think so.
Salcante?
I think that. And there's like a big group of everyone, and there's some Sherpas and stuff too.
Oh, that's so cool.
Dude, super cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I stayed in Nicaragua for a summer.
Oh, do you do surfing?
Yeah.
No way. I'm trying to get into it. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely. If you're in Bali, you got to surf. This is insane. But I was in Nicaragua, and so many guys that were there, like in the hostels, had their own businesses. Like,
Oh, that's cool.
or up that they're running from like the computer.
No, yeah,
Yeah, I love
I
that.
had a lot of people that run like high ticket closing roles.
Oh yeah.
They would close deals or like have a pipeline of businesses that they worked with that would send them deals to close.
Yes.
And they would just travel around Bali the whole time.
I love that.
Deals.
I love that. Yeah, no, and that's the thing. The high ticket closing world, especially like in the online like social media space, is massive right now.
Yeah.
It's huge. Like I know people in this space that are making 6 figures a month, like 100 to 300K a month, doing high ticket closing sales and like social media. It's insane.
Like what are they closing? Like what type of deal?
Yeah, so they're closing.
Varies?
It varies for sure because they have like 3 to 4 different clients, and then they have like a calendar for themselves that gets booked up by their clients' appointment setters. But yeah, they sell like these large packages for like social media. They sell it for health and wellness, for like for dating. People need dating help, for health coaches. Yeah.
No, they're basically like freelance salespeople.
Exactly, and they're really good at it. Yeah, they're really good at closing.
So like any type of business, they'll do the sales for them.
Yeah, they just have to understand the business really well. And once they understand the business really well, they apply all their principles of closing, and they can close
That's what I'm going to be doing for the appointment setting role for Rev. It's cool.
No, that's sick.
Yeah.
It's fascinating stuff, dude. And it allows you to travel while making a bunch of income in US dollars too. So
Yeah.
if you're in Bali or Indonesia and you're doing a high ticket closing role, then you're making triple.
We're living like a king.
You're living like a king, and you can make millions a year doing it, which is insane. Yeah.
That would be something I'd want to get into.
I think you could get into that easily.
Oh yeah.
Like right now, like the sales I do is like pretty insane. I feel like I could take it to any other industry.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
What I would do for that, I would find like a creator that's selling like a high ticket package and reach out to them and like try to do it for a bunch of other creators, because that's where the money is. That's where a lot of potential is right now for high ticket closers. And then if you find one and do a really good job, then you can use that as experience for the next. Exactly. Yeah, and they might even refer you to the other people. So
that's like
yeah.
When you say like creators doing packages like of just anything,
or just anything, Hormozy says it's like health, wealth, and dating, I believe is what it is, or relationships. Health, wealth, and relationships are what people tend to sell.
Interesting.
Yeah. So if you find anything in like those 3 buckets on Instagram, you can end up likely being a closer for them.
The relationships,
That's what I say. That's what I sell in a lot of days.
Oh yeah, the relationships.
Yeah. Like when I'm inviting people to come out to the events that my company puts on and I put on, it's like, who are you going to meet at these events? What relationships are you going to build?
Yeah.
And that's like a huge value.
Absolutely.
That we're selling. So
absolutely.
I think that wraps up the first little 30-minute segment. We're going to continue on. I think we should chat for like another 10, 15.
100%. 100%. That's crazy.
So what was the thing that you were thinking of touching on?
Yeah. So touching on that, like the health, wealth, and relationships, what I've noticed is when a lot of people gain like one thing, then they start like they're neglecting the others a lot of the time, right? So like I know a couple people that got really wealthy, but then their health and relationships sacrificed. So they have all this money to go ahead and spend for these people that can help them bring their health and relationships up. So that's what they do. They end up spending like 5 figures, sometimes a month, on these coaches that'll like structure everything to help them get in a good relationship, bring them on cool retreats to like some really cool tropical place. Right. Yeah, and then have them go ahead and meet with other people that are looking for the same thing. And then for wellness is just like personal training that's just hyper targeted to high functioning like executives or people that make a lot of money.
Because I think that is something that's pretty true for everybody. Like it's hard to balance, making money with your health, then also relationships.
Yeah,
Those are like the three like hardest things to juggle together.
The three like balls that every person is juggling constantly.
Yeah.
No, it's each one is like full time, like
100%.
focus.
Yeah. And it's like how much is that worth to you? Like for me, I wouldn't spend like 10K a month to get someone to help me with dating, but other people that have issues with it would, you know, and they have a lot of money, you know. So
If you have the money, it's
it's subjective.
Health and fitness coaching has always been or not always, but it's been a big industry for a long time. Ever since people started like going to the gym and working out,
100%.
and it's been like a service, like at any sort of gym. But the relationships one is pretty fascinating. Like
matchmakers.
Yeah, matchmakers.
And,
Exactly.
They have like retreats, people and stuff to go to. Yeah, it's a fascinating.
That's interesting. With the internet, like this is like a whole new thing.
Whole new world, whole new market.
Yeah, like
It's very lucrative too. Yeah.
I've seen like people who are like executives at companies and they just work all day.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
they don't have any free time.
Some executives that we both know would be a good example of like having a lot of money and like focusing on your career, but kind of neglecting relationships and health.
For sure. I think a lot of people do think too that if I'm doing my business, if I'm working all this time, I can't have a relationship.
Yeah.
And they just like kind of like black and white. They're like, I can't have it. Whereas I think that you can have that. You just have to be a little bit more, you have to approach it like with a little bit more planning, intentionality.
Yeah.
It's absolutely more difficult to do, but it
100%.
can be rewarding.
It absolutely can.
Another thing that I have noticed on the health side of things is the most successful people that I know take care of their bodies and their health like in the best way possible.
Oh yeah,
like
absolutely.
there is a point where it's like you want to be working all day and like closing deals all day and making money, but you have to almost have the discipline to be like, okay, no, I'm going to take 2 hours out of my day and like use that to go to the gym instead.
Absolutely.
That can be difficult for people that are like obsessed over their work.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
It can be. And I even fall in that trap too sometimes where I'm like, oh, I should work out, but I have all this work. But I know like if I worked out, then the work would be higher quality.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think your health, like it correlates directly into work performance.
Absolutely.
You know, like if you work out, like your focus is higher for the next couple hours after.
Yeah.
So like that work you do after a workout is much more quality.
Yeah.
You're right.
Absolutely.
Like having to just like, sometimes like when you're managing a bunch of stuff, it's like can get chaotic.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to like focus on one thing and like forget about everything that's going on
100%.
and just, you know, get back to it and it'll gonna work out. You don't have to have like every single thing going through your mind at all times, you know.
And that's the hardest thing about being a business owner. I feel like I always constantly just think about my business in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
And I get like a little obsessive over it. And I feel like a lot of people do struggle with that to the point where they just like don't really they neglect themselves the other ways. Yeah. So this kind of sucks.
You have to be obsessed.
You have to be obsessed. You have to obsessed, but you also have to be like, okay, I need to take care of my health because I know that that's gonna correlate positively back.
Absolutely.
I was also curious, like, do you have any family members or cousins or anything like that that own their own businesses, or are you kind of like stand alone in that regard?
No, I'm kind of in my own little, no one else is with me. And I always kind of like grew up a little odd in that type of way. I didn't even grow up being like an entrepreneur or anything, but I've always like loved like being creative and loved like business and loved just like doing fun things and creating fun things. So it just kind of just like naturally led into this. And no one else is really doing it. No. So it's kind of cool. Set of friends.
It's right for the taking, man.
Yeah, it's right for the taking.
Business is itself creative. Like even though your work is creative, but it's coming up with the structure of the business and like figuring out how to get clients and like developing something you could sell.
Yeah,
that's creative.
It's all fun.
Yeah, even stuff. Sales in a lot of ways is extremely creative.
Oh yeah,
you have to constantly be thinking of new ways to communicate with people and
100%
pivoting your verbiage that you're using with people. So yeah, it's similar to marketing like that.
Well, it is.
It's just more client facing.
Yeah.
What was the hardest thing in starting your business? Like, what was your biggest challenge to get it kind of going?
Getting people to prove that I know what I'm doing and having the confidence that I know what I'm doing. I think that's by far like the hardest thing is like getting like your first like, I would say like 5 clients kind of sucks. Yeah. And like getting results off those clients too. Like you have to really, like, especially when you don't know what you're doing, which I didn't really know. I just know I wanted to like go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
And I thought I had kind of like the cheat code, but I didn't really that much, you know? So I was just like a lot of like trial and error with a lot of people that gave me trust in doing it. And then once I started getting results, then it was easy. Yeah. Because then I became confident in it and people could tell that. And then I could actually replicate what already worked.
Yeah.
So the social proof too. Like
Social proof.
Okay, I actually did this for this client.
That's a huge thing that I see in friends that I've seen that have started their own marketing agencies. Like this girl Rain from college, who I admire a lot. She started her own sort of social media agency. And it's a huge thing for her. It's like posting the amount of engagement that she got for her clients and using that as like social proof to get more clients.
Absolutely. The most impactful thing I saw for like social proof is just like getting you and the client on camera, especially if they're like really happy with you and like having like their genuine take of what it is. Testimonial. Yeah. Just give it a testimonial and then like editing it and posting it on social media. Yeah. That's by far the best way.
That's why we like having conversations like this with entrepreneurs, because it's their most genuine perspective of like how they got to where they are right now.
Absolutely.
In a very real way. So
100%.
On the horse's mouth or whatever.
Streets or maybe.
Well, it's interesting too, like every single entrepreneur we have interviewed, they have like very similar like traits, you know.
Yeah, it's cool.
A lot of the things they talk about, they line up. So it's like it's kind of like we're getting a blueprint through all these interviews of like what is an entrepreneur, like what do they do?
Yeah, like how do you take like the successful bits and like apply it to yourself? Yeah, it's cool.
And it's like it comes down to behaviors, I think.
Yeah,
like that's really all it is. It's like what do they do each day?
And also the ability to put like your feelings aside and just like do something, or like take the risk of like, I'm gonna try and land this client and do work for them, and they're gonna give me trust, and I'm just gonna like do it. Like
no, I love like the cold approach. Like I do sales. I love going and meeting someone for the first time,
100%,
and then like trying to get their business. You know, that was like super for me, like
it's an art.
rewarding.
Yeah, that's a creative piece. Yeah.
Like that's fun. What's your favorite part of your business? Just the creativity, like the actual making of the ads?
I like just like building. I like going it from ideation to like what we're going to do to like seeing like the product of it and then seeing the results of it. Like that's all just like so exciting to me, is like, okay, like we built this like from the ground up, and like not only that, like you're getting clients and getting results from it. And it's a really fun, cool piece of video and content that we're able to do to get you these results. Like it's really fun. When it happens.
What's your biggest success story? And then also like what's a marketing tip or trick learned?
Absolutely. My biggest success story, one of them that comes to mind, is I worked with this moving company in Minnesota, and they're approaching their off season actually. So after September, the off season for Minnesota moving is usually like October through like May. That's like the off season. So like notoriously, and they had business since like 2020, and then we worked with them this last fall. They're making 10K a month every October, and then under 10K a month in November and December. We started working with them in September, and the first month was okay, but then October hit. They had a 50K month. And then they had a 48K month in November. Then they had a 60K month in December, but he didn't have enough movers to handle all that load, so he had to get rid of 22K of that, which was insane. Which is crazy.
Like he didn't have enough. He got the booking but couldn't fulfill it. Basically,
he got the booking but he couldn't fulfill it, so he had to say no to them.
Wow.
For 22K of jobs.
It's a good problem to have, I guess.
Well, great problem to have.
And you could also market for his.
That's incredible.
Absolutely. There's a veteran I'm working with here. He's getting a booked appointment for like $4, which is absolutely insane. He's helping veterans increase their VA ratings. There's two other companies in Minnesota I'm working with, a cabinet company and a surface restoration for bathtub companies. They both actually had to pause their ads so they could hire more people on. Specifically the surface renew company. They had to pause their ads to hire 4 more technicians and 2 sales reps to handle all the load that's coming in. So it's crazy. So
it's like marketing, sales, the product, the service. That's like the pipeline.
Exactly. And my job is just like the front end of it. So my job is just like putting giving you all the fire, which are all the leads that are coming.
So you're
turning on the switch.
actually source, like, do they have their own like system to get leads, or do you assist with that at all?
I assist with that. So I help bring on the system as well. So I either use their current system that they have, or I have like pre-built systems through like Monday and Notion that I've already made to make their life easier in like handling all the clients and making it as automated as possible. And then also like I help them hire appointment setters from the Philippines too,
Nice.
if need be, which is cool. Yeah. So yeah.
Online jobs too?
Online jobs FEH, yeah. Online jobs, that's the number one serve.
Free sauce right there.
Yeah, online jobs FEH is a hack. Yeah.
Do you charge people for getting those appointment setters?
No, I include in the service.
Oh,
Yeah, including the 2 months.
into the package.
Exactly. I could charge for that, but I just keep it in there.
Yeah, I think it's a good.
Your strategy of like delivering in the first 2 months, I think, is incredibly smart. It's something that works really well in a marketing sort of role.
When you're just starting.
Yeah, when you're just started and you're when you're onboarding a new client and trying to gain their trust, all that sort of things are super important to consider.
Yeah, and then you can get a guarantee off of that too, which is nice. Like on average, like I get 30K in 2 months from a new client in revenue through Meta, which is awesome. So like they invest like 10K, 8K into me. I can be like, okay, well, you invest this, you get this, you know? So it's like, so it's like, it's pretty good to implement those type of things.
And I think your sort of business is something that is always new and evolving and exciting. You don't get bored or burnt out as easily as you know, a lot of other roles that you may be in. So that's the whole goal, is to like find something that you're passionate about and be able to do it for a long amount of time.
100%.
Yeah.
I had a question, but I just forgot.
We could save it for a new episode as well.
What was it? I don't know. It was about. Oh yeah. So you're like packages. Are you charging people like on a monthly basis, or are you locking them in over like a longer period of time?
Yeah, so my first package is 2 months, and that's just basically the testing ground. And the reason why I do 2 months, I could do 3 months for even better results, but 2 months is like the minimum amount of time for them to get a big return on their investment. Yeah, so I just try to get the minimum amount of time where I can get a big return for them, and then after that, once I get that massive return for them, then I'll pitch them for like a 6 month to a year contract after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not doing month to month. It's like 6 months to a year.
Exactly. So we can always have like an endpoint, and then we can trace how well they did from that endpoint from the start point before they met me. Yeah.
Do you ever negotiate like different periods of times, or are you rigid in the way that you do your contracts?
I like to be more rigid just so I can like have a structure for them, because I feel like if they're presented options of like okay, we could either do this or this, then
Too overwhelming.
yeah, it gets too overwhelming for them to think about. Oh, well, how many months would you like to do this for?
Yeah.
I like to take the thinking out of it as much as possible
For the
for the client.
Makes sense.
Yeah, to make it as simple. It tends to lead to more sales too.
I think no, that's interesting, because the company I work at, we're meeting with all kinds of different clients. They have their own visions about what they want.
Yeah.
Like every client wants something else,
Right.
but it's like you just need to be like, okay, this is actually what we're gonna do.
Right.
You kind of have to lead it. Absolutely. At first I was like, would having more flexibility help?
Yeah.
But now it makes more sense. Like it's just simpler.
So simple.
For both parties.
Yeah.
You guys have a structure of like how people are gonna pay and use the service.
Yeah. Because the more they have to think about, the more objections they can come up with too.
Yeah.
So you don't want them to have to think too long. You want them to like, okay, see the options, and then you have like the potential results of those options for these people. So then they'll just make it really easy for them to say yes to.
Yeah. And I feel like also it's like, this is not their wheelhouse. So it's
Absolutely.
trust the expert,
100%.
Listening is what are credible a lot.
Yeah, makes you more credible in a lot of ways. Like, you know what you're doing. Especially if you have data to back it up too. Like that helps at all.
Oh, that is super important. Do you have your own website that you built out, or?
I just use Instagram currently.
Really?
Yeah, I don't even use a website. Yeah, because that's just like my landing page basically for like my ads and everything. So yeah, everyone I get is through Instagram and through like my DMs. Yeah.
So you don't have like a for your lead capture, it's straight up just Instagram.
Straight up just Instagram. And you can use a website for sure too. But Instagram, running ads through Instagram, the best way to convert is through Instagram too.
Yeah.
That makes sense actually. Like everyone's on Instagram.
Well, I want to round this out by asking you if you could give people one piece of advice about marketing.
Yeah.
I know it's a very vague question, but one piece of advice that you think helped you that you would want to share with people.
Yeah.
I think that could be valuable.
The biggest takeaway, like I would say, like working with a lot of businesses and like even for myself, like if you can provide as much value to the specific type of person that you're trying to reach, you will be successful. Like that'll be like the number one trait of success. And not only that, like if you could over deliver on that, people will just end up referring you to a bunch of other people. You'll just end up getting so much more business than you could even handle if you can over deliver on what you promise. Yeah. Awesome. So that's my biggest takeaway from everything. So
Sounds good. Well,
do you have a lot of word of mouth clients?
I do now. Yeah,
that's awesome.
I do now. Yeah. But
That's awesome.
So that's what the cool thing is. Like the marketing is good, but if the service is great, then that leads to a lot more word of mouth.
And word of mouth marketing is actually the number one like best type of marketing because like if I tell you to go to a movie theater and watch a movie, like I'm more likely to actually go watch that movie because because a friend is telling you that.
Absolutely.
100%.
And that's always the goal too, is to get a lot of word of mouth marketing too, with how much good you do.
Eventually, like having that lead your sales would be like ideal. You know?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like
All this marketing is just a gateway for me to get more word of mouth marketing.
it's like a snowball effect. I feel like so once you get to a certain number, and it's like kind of more exponential word of mouth growth. That's super cool though. Super interesting and inspiring. Like the communists from Minnesota.
Oh, really?
Freezing.
Freezing out the negatives to 70.
Like it's beautiful.
We have a beautiful place here. Yeah. It's been awesome getting to hear the full sort of story and background, and super happy that I was able to meet you at the coffee shop and just set something up like this out of it.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you for talking to me and like I appreciate you coming over here and getting this all set up and everything. So
well, that'll conclude episode 18, and maybe we'll have another one in the future, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, Henry, great to meet you. Lucas, great to meet you. Again, yes.